Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And we're back up on YouTube. We had to there we go. We had to turn it down and but we're popping it back up and giving everybody an opportunity to see what we're up to, what we're doing. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to visit the website. You are welcome to give us a call from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 813-758-8263. And we're going to take a quick look at things. Let's mark this up. So we're going to use a little red box because everything is, for the most part, in a, well, the VIX is not red. The VIX is in green. The VIX goes long at what time? 7:35. And now we're not crazy about shorting VIX, but we can get long the VIX. It's $50 a tick. But it's a signal to us that in all likelihood, the market is going to be headed down. It was already headed down by about 5 minutes. And if you had taken that, if you were an annual member and took that signal, you're up $1,000. If you had taken on the ES, if you had taken it on the NASDAQ at 720, that's all today, you're up nearly 1,500. If you took it on the Dow, you're up 500. If you took it on the Russell, you're up 680. If you took it on gold, and we love gold, right? I mean, but we're traders. You know, things go up, things go down. This morning, gold is going down. That might be because they're coming out of stocks, they're going into the dollar, and the dollar is probably up a little bit, but you'd be up 2,300, and you could go buy more gold. And oil, also short right here. Put that one in. So just this morning, just since 7:30, 1,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,600, easily over $5,000. Now, what did we do over here? We ran a trading robot from midnight to about 8:45. That trading robot was trading 1 NQ. Now, it could have been trading the radar, but it wasn't. It was trading a beta strategy that we call 7-iron. We ran it last week and it did about 3 or 4 grand for the week. And last night it did 2 grand, one contract. Had 4 trades, winning on all 4. Divide the 2 grand by the 4 trades, and it's a crazy profit factor. So that is done. We have turned it off. We've booked the money, and maybe we turn it on a little bit later. Maybe we don't. It is a risk perimeter time in the market, and we want to limit that time. There are 24 trading days in a month, 24 if you count Sunday nights. So you can do the math. If you can quit your days early, you reduce your exposure. If you can quit your weeks early, you reduce your exposure. It takes time, but it doesn't take that long. You put together 20 trading days with just half of that, and your confidence level will go through the roof. I'm Bag It On, Stock Market Caddy. You're welcome to visit the website. You can post any questions you have in the chat room. And if you want us to plug any of your markets in on whatever interval, we're happy to do that. Swing Machine is our flagship product. We have over 70 programs, 70. And more important, more valuable than any one program is the education that goes with it. We have self-paced education. We have one-on-one instruction during what we call the Q School, which is very intense. But we want everyone to understand what these programs are capable of doing, how to set them up, how to set up the variables, because there are variables, right? We cannot control what the market does. We can only control what we do. We try to help you get yourself set up to run as a business, not haphazard, not winging things around. We want you to be trading as a business for yourself, your own capital, maximizing your time, maximizing your cash flow. Enjoy. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And we did turn off the strategy, and we'll have it running behind the scenes and continue to track what it's up to. Um, okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. I'll take a peek. And happy Easter Monday to everybody. And the 7-iron performed very well for just 4 trades overnight, 2 grand. Beautiful. And we have the VIX turning up at 7:35. Market turned down at 7:25, 7:20, 7:35, 7:25, 11:05 p.m. That was last night. Gold turning down, and then oil kind of stuck on stupid at around 80. The manipulation of the gold or the oil reserves by the Saudis, and probably being a little bit of a tight range. We are broadcasting on YouTube for those folks that are taking a peek on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Feel free to visit the website. And you're also welcome to call any day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 813-758-8263. We're here in the office, and you're welcome to give us a shout. We'll give you a view for at least part of the morning. And we wish everybody a great day and a great week. Yes, Jeff. Well, that'd be awesome, Jeff. Me just reading your note. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Thank you for saying that. Well, thank you, Jeff. I did make a mistake on that. With that, yeah, I didn't even realize I had done that. That was from, I hadn't even adjusted it yet, Jeff. Thank you. It would be 3,500. Would that come from is the rebate back for Q School folks. So thank you. I'm going to go make Jeff. Thank you. We're thrilled to have you. And I'll get working on your files. Let me go make that adjustment right now. And I'll confirm it back. Thanks, though. I did not know that. We're also in the process of totally revamping our website. So we're doing a lot, and I hope to have that done soon. It's pretty big undertaking, but we're pretty thrilled to have that getting underway. So there's going to be a whole lot of different things coming off of that website for existing members too. So And Jeff, thank you. I just made that adjustment, Jeff, just for you. And when you go, I just want you to know too, it's just the way PayPal does it. It says, as you know, one cycle, one cycle. That is not on automatic renew. It's one cycle. Thank you, Jeff, and we'll get to work right away. Um, I don't see any issue at all in having all your files to you um, by the 15th, which make it totally seamless. And thank you, Jeff. Thank you. And good morning, Tina. Jeff has been with us for a good time, good long time, and is renewing as an annual member. And one of the things that's not on the website, but we the renewals, the annual membership drops on the first year. It is um 39.9, it's about $4,000. However, a person does the Q school, we take, $1,000 off of either the Q school or off of that. But the renewal for the second year drops to 3,500. And for um and on the renewal, what we do is we reward you for with an extra month for the year that you've been with us, and an extra month going forward, up to a total of 6. So the idea being is that um we're trying to increase the value when a person joins. We're trying to increase the value and in effect reduce the cost, the effective cost. And hopefully a person is growing and growing and growing their own trading account, and we're hopefully reducing the effective cost and increasing value. So that's it works. Um, I know it's maybe an anathema to what other not necessarily say trading things are doing, but it just seems to make sense to us. So Jeff, we thank you. Look forward to it. I can't believe it's been, that's the only thing with with memberships. I become aware of time. I just can't believe how fast the time goes by. But Swing Machine is doing a beautiful job here this morning. We're in the house here with 2,000 from midnight to 8:45 off of the 7-iron program. Ran really nice. We're going to continue. It ran very well last week. It's been running really well overnight. We had one day that was a downer, but it was net positive for the week. And we've turned it off right now. We still have it running in the background though, so we'll still. What I mean by that is it's not actually putting in trades, but we can still monitor what it does for the rest of the day. The ES contract went short at 725 at 41.28. You'd be up 1,400. The NQ went short at 720. 720, you're up 2,700. The YM went short at 735. You're up 575. 725, the Russell up 400. And then gold turned down last night at 11, and you're up 2170. And oil is stuck on this $80 figure in a really, really tight range. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Now, they would have you believe that that the stock market is a market of stocks, but there are more ETFs, there are more exchange traded funds than there are stocks. And we believe that, and what we're seeing, if you're wondering on YouTube, how can the markets all move within 5 minutes of each other? It's because the markets have been commoditized, and that's been for 30 years. They're commoditized. The media will make big stories about an individual stock. It's not to say that an individual stock will rise above the market and continue to run or do something exceptional. But for the most part, we consider the stock market the same way we would look at gold, corn, oats. It's a commodity. Good morning. Good morning again, everybody. And YouTube is still with us. And any questions, let us know. You're watching Swing Machine Plus on April 10th, Monday, Easter Monday, at about 10:41. This number here was posted by the trading robot called 7 Iron, and that ran from midnight to 8:45 this morning. Excuse me. Completely robotic, and posted that number on its own. These numbers here is what Swing Machine is signaling. This is the signal. And once again, at 10:10, it was just a moment, not too long ago, at 10:10, the VIX on the 5-minute turns down. So the market's starting to lose a little bit of its fear. The 5-minute ES, though, is still short from 725 and up that amount. It's off of its highs. The VIX, the NQ, went short at 720. It's off of its highs, was up over 3 grand. It's pulled back. The Dow is trying to get long right now. And then the one market that is sticking out and was flashing relative strength was the Russell. Money was flowing into the Russell. The other market that is really taking it on the chin, was a little extended, is gold. We think this is just a pullback. But that trade, 11:05 last night, 3 grand. So one could be long of gold. Maybe you own gold and you're rooting for gold to go up. That would be fine. But when you have a trading opportunity, rather than sell your gold, you could come into a futures market and sell a futures contract at 2013.2 last night. And if you wanted to close that futures contract, you'd preserve $3,000 worth of value. Could have done the same thing with Bitcoin. That's what the futures market is all about. It is meant to be a hedging tool and a trading tool. Excuse me. If you have any questions on what it is you're looking at, feel free to visit the website. Feel free to post any questions in the chat, email, and you're welcome to call if you still have questions from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. My phone number is 813-758-8263. We have been doing this a long time. We haven't been doing this just for 6 months, 6 years. We've been doing this a long time. And we're happy to chat with you, discuss what it is you've been doing. And we have 2 levels of membership, a monthly, pretty straightforward, and an annual. None of the programs are for sale, but before anyone gets angry, I had some person say, why are you doing that? They are available. They're just not available for sale. As an annual member, you get them all. You get all the programs. And we think that is a much better way to go, as opposed to selling, one program here, one program there. Why not give you access to all of them and let you use what you like? I did. So that is the idea. And the annual membership, they're limited. We only issue a certain number of licenses every year. Last year, we hit that number in the middle of November. This year has been a strong year. So Stock Market Cat is only going to grow at a certain percentage every year, because it is homegrown, and we're not going to, just Susan and I. So we're going to try to grow responsibly. And the first time you're an annual member, though, you must go through the Q School. It's a one-time thing, but we want to do it. It helps you, it helps us. We want to make sure that you have every opportunity to see what we're about, what these tools are about. And it's an opportunity for you to say, I get a great education, but it isn't for me. If following the Q School, you decide to become an annual member, we'll credit you back a good chunk of money, actually 30% of the cost. We'll push it back to you. And then from one year to the next, the cost, the annual membership drops from where it is down to just $3,500 a year, and we will give you an extra or a month free for every year you've been with us, up to about 6. And so the idea is that we keep adding more and more value and reducing your cost, and you're growing with your capacities and growing your account. And it just, just think it's a really neat way to go. But if you have any questions, feel free, and have a great rest of the day. We'll let YouTube probably hang out until about noon. We're not running the program, right? With this program here, we turned it down. Is that cheating? Is that cheating? Yeah, it is. And it's why they won't let you do that at the casino. Casino, you sit down to that table and you got to be there until you run out of money, I suppose, but you can't reach into the roulette wheel and stop. We turned this program on at noon, and we decided, not at noon, at midnight, and we decided to turn it off at 8:45. We can do that. We don't have to trade it again. We can turn it on tonight, don't have to trade 24/7, right? So we can, there's a lot of things that we can control. And that's part of, or a big part of the Q School, is making you aware of some things that you may not otherwise be aware of. There are 24 trading days in a month, 24, if you count trading futures, if you count Sunday nights. So if your trading session is an hour, or 2 hours, or 4 hours, if you secure $100 a day, it's $2,400 a month. 200, 4,000, more than, right? If you take Fridays off, which is called 20 days, be 4,000 a month. You do something like this, 2,000 in a day, and you put together 10 or 20 of those days, you're going to be underway. Fully. There is still a technique to trading, even though we're trading robotically. There's still a technique, you know. It's just like like everything else. Maybe like bass fishing. There's some folks that can go out on the water and on their boat and not catch anything, and then there are these guys that go out and compete and catch just a ton of bass. There's a technique, and you can learn how to catch bass from other bass fishermen, and we hope to facilitate that learning curve here from trading robotically. We're not we're not concerning ourselves with all the macro babble stuff. It's not what we do. It's fine. I'm sure it's very fine, especially if you're a hedge fund manager and you got to be responsible for 100 million, 200 million, billions. I suppose you want to be concerned with the macro babble because, you just can't maneuver. But if you're a small person like us, individual, you have a tremendous advantage over them. You can move in and you can move out. You can exploit, these little micro trends, capture these things called dollars for the time being. They're called dollars. Maybe they're going to be called something else, but who cares? And then you can go do other things with those dollars. You want to buy gold, you want to buy silver, you want to buy real estate, you want to buy a business, you want to bury it in the backyard. Probably not a good idea, at least not paper. But So what we're doing here is teaching and mentoring those folks that, again, want to trade their own capital, at least a portion of it, to try to create a trading business of their own money to get a return and to create cash flow. We're not suggesting that everybody do this. No, nope. We're not suggesting that if you subscribe to us or you use the specific program that it's going to automatically print you money. We're not suggesting that either. And I've had some people, send me some nasty notes like, well, then what are you doing? Then why are you making those videos? We make the videos to create some awareness, but there is a learning curve because all of these programs that we have variables to them, and you can adjust them, you can blend them, you can run them in so many different configurations. So it's we want to take that time. Good morning, John. Good morning, John. We're building a new website, and the website, Be Gentle With Us, it served its purpose. We built it a long time ago. We built it ourselves, and but we're building a new one. We're building a new one, and there's a learning curve there too, right? There's all kinds of things now, so we're having to learn how to do something different, and and it's very time consuming. I'm sure it could take somebody else that knows how to build a website could probably do it in a couple of hours, but I'm going to take the extra time and effort to learn how to do it and to build it because I want to have a website that is what we want, and so that I can maintain it, that I can edit it, I can grow with it, and it can grow with us, and it'll be good for us, it'll be good for our members. We have so many things that we want to do. Ask GBT. Yeah. Yeah, GBT is good. But GBT isn't going to do it's good. This whole AI thing, a lot of our programs have some built-in AI to them, but you're still going to need the gray matter, and so no, I appreciate that. But yeah, but you take like, the website design and stuff. So, it's, I was saying to Susie, it was very similar because, the trading thing, I mean, you could, it does you no good if you have just a program and you don't know what the program is doing, can't make the adjustment on the program and can't adjust, and get done what you need to get done. I come from a field that, my previous career was in surgery, right? So I spent, 25 years with surgeons, and over the years, there would be these different innovations. There was a lot of innovation, right? I don't know if there's as much now, but there was a lot. And every time, when I was a young person, and every time they'd come out with a new innovation, the company people, the salespeople, the marketing people, everybody, they'd always get really concerned, like, oh my God, if they, have this stapler, we're not going to be making this anymore, and we won't have a job, and we won't have this, and we won't have that, and I would never concern myself with it. I guess I didn't have the experience to be able to coach anybody at that point, but I do now. And I can just tell you, both in that field and even in this new realm of GPT, or, chat GBT and AI, and there'll probably be several more of these functions in these in the world of automation. It isn't going to, it will displace, it will be disruptive, but there will be businesses built and expanded, and people will just get new roles. They'll do new things. It just does. And in fact, the more complicated it gets, these tools, the more valuable the people are. So if you're in a realm of that, it's just that everyone's going to have to, I'm in a different stage of life in a different place. But, if I was in my 30s or 40s, I wouldn't be afraid of that. I'd be embracing it. And because the people who do, they're the ones who are going to write the next chapters, and in this even more opportunity. I'll give you a specific example. In the early 1980s, I was selling suture for a medical company, and had to go into surgery and open heart surgery and hernia surgery and all kinds of surgeries to talk to the surgeon about using suture, string, basically string. That's what it was. They had all these different types of suture, silk and nylon and polypropylene and all this stuff, and different needles and stuff, right? Stuff was expensive. And it was about 19, I'd been doing it for a couple of years, was really good at it, really learned a lot. The training was incredible, it was a lot. And around 1985, I heard them talking about, it wasn't ChatGPT, but something called a trocar. I'm like, trocar. Okay, it's got a threesome. What the hell's a trocar? Well, it's this device, Don, that goes through the abdomen, so they don't have to open up a person's abdomen. Really? What's that? But because if you open up you got to use a lot of suture to close. I'm like, well, there'll be less suture. And then they put these instruments down through these trocars. I literally knew nothing about it. I hadn't seen it yet. And none of the hospitals were doing it. And well, in 1985, I think it was Mercy Hospital in Miami, and they were the first one. I go in and I look, and I'm like, oh my God. Here I go into my first case. Now, it wasn't any of my products, and I see the surgeon put in these trocars, and then he put in a camera and all these devices, and they basically, it was great because it was great. It was new, and it was great for the patient. Much shorter recovery time. They used much less suture. But guess what? There was a whole need for a whole new set of people that could, train the surgeons on how to use that stuff, and even the surgeons had to they had to get trained on how to use that stuff. Who's going to do that, right? So I can remember the people I was working with, they're like, oh my God, we're going to be out of a job. We're going to be, oh my God, it's going to be less. And they were all wringing their hands and panicked. Just the opposite. We were in more demand. If you stayed with it, incomes went up, everything went. And I just saw that over and over again throughout, the medical career. There was just a lot of innovation. I'm not sure that we get as much innovation. That's another story in medical, but in tech. So this innovation is disruptive, and so that's what even here is. We've always said this. There are a ton of traders out there, a ton. Teaching this, teaching that. I don't know, some good, some not, maybe, I don't know. There are a ton of coders out there, a ton. There's very few traders and coders. Like, I don't think the Nigerians are doing any coding. Now, they probably hire people, but I don't think they're doing it. Or, some of the others. Nothing against them too, by the way. I think they're great guys, but we don't subscribe, but I think they're nice folks. Certainly none of the folks on CNBC. So we do both. And we've done it from ground zero. And it's enabled us to learn, and we can make tweaks and make adjustments. Otherwise, it'd be very, very costly to have to go out every time, hire somebody, or and then you don't really get to, if you have to hire somebody, you don't really get behind, the technology to really understand what it's doing. So that's why I think that, it's just like the kids. I just saw a piece on Chat GPT, the kids in college, and are they going to use it and cheat themselves, in education? Well, they could do it. Maybe they get through and they get a degree or something, but at some point it's going to catch up with them. But somebody's just come out with another function for ChatGPT, and they can take a paragraph, they can take a math problem of what this kid has done, and they can plug it in, and it can determine whether or not they cheated. So there you go. We got another app, another something that somebody else had to design. And so that's why, we bring it back here. I think it's really important, and we're committed to this, not doing like big classrooms of instruction. And in marketing individual, we want to take our time with each person and make sure that they understand what they're embarking in, and need time to experience what you need to experience, see what you need to see and hear. And so then you have someone to go to ask, right? So like right now, even, I'm building this website, and it's, I won't mention who and whatnot, but I had to go through, and the person, the company is readily there. So when I get into you know a cul-de-sac, I can try to figure it out. But in the end, whatever website I build will be my website, for better or for worse. And here our members will, I was just talking with one of our members, relatively new, and he was talking about, blending one radar with another radar. And, you certainly can do that sort of thing. Enjoy. But I guess the long story short is not to fear the innovation. You can't, it can't be stopped. It isn't going to stop. It's never going to stop, no matter what it is. And there are always things, even in the market, to invest in. Remember the people who invested in America Online, they never wanted to sell America Online. Boy, there'll never be another AOL. Oh, Google. Oh, there'll never be another Google. Oh, there'll never be another Amazon. There'll never be another. There always will be. It's right. They're there now. They're there today. They could be selling for $3, $4, $5 a share. They may not have even gone public yet. And maybe it's going to be around AI. Maybe it's going to be some branch of AI. I think the trading, I feel, I'm, we say this every day. I'm so glad that we started out what we did so long ago. I wish it didn't take as long, but it just did. Some of the things weren't available, but I have no regret. I have no, it's just, I just don't think that Wall Street is going to be what it's been. I think it's just going to be entirely different. I mean, this idea of, turning on, Guy Adami on, CNBC, or Dan Nathan, to hear them pontificate about, you know, um, the Federal Reserve or something like that. I mean, it's just a tremendous waste of time. It's not going to help you. It's just, in fact, it's just going to retard your learning curve. Just ditch it, get rid of it. I don't subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. I don't have a TV in my office. Makes you stupid. I don't watch any of them. I see it a little bit pass through on the Twitter sphere, but just a total distraction, total waste of time when you stop and think about it, right? If you have a business, if you have some other business that you invested in, if it's a Subway store, you you want to create your cash flow. So if you're trading, you want to create your cash flow. I had a gentleman, maybe he's listening now. And oh, my phone died. I gotta charge my phone. Um, well, maybe I won't tell a story, but I won't. But what it, I talked to him on Saturday, and he said he was going to, said he was going to sign up. He wanted me to consult with him on something that he has written. And I said, well, I mean, if you want to sign up as a monthly and you'll learn a lot of different things and you want to send me, protect your proprietary code and you want me to review some things, I will. I'll do that for you. And he never did. And I didn't think that he would, but I could tell just from talking with him, and he was all excited about what he had written and everything, but he just didn't know what he didn't know. And for all he had to do was just join for a monthly, and I would have been able to give him, so much insight, which would have saved him, a tremendous. It isn't just the money, right? It's also the time, right? We can't buy time, most valuable commodity at all. We can't buy it. We can't sell it. We can't trade it. So time, and if you can shorten up that learning curve and get underway. Now, a lot of people just, it's that first step. Don't and I get it. I do. I get it. There were different times when we had to make different changes. Like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Oh, it's gonna take some back to the website. Oh man, you know, I had somebody say the other day, I'm like, we've been doing this a long time. He goes, I can tell your website looks pretty old. Maybe that was you, John. I don't know. John's there. Like, oh God, it was a little kick in the pants to me. Like, oh man, I gotta get that website redone. But it was a lot of fun when we first did it, but it's even gonna be more fun. So in any case, I digress a little bit. It's all the same. We watched a movie. It was a kind of a Disney-esque movie. Um, Remember the guy, Bob Ross? Remember him? There's a Netflix movie. It's good for kids. Um, and on Bob Ross, the guy who had the fuzzy hair and he'd paint on like public broadcast station. Remember that guy? He could just like, just do a mountainscape like out of nothing, like in 30 minutes. Well, there's a movie about him and about his life, and it's really fascinating, and I don't want to spoil it. But he one of the lessons, and I was just like listening, just he's just saying, hey, and they would go around teaching people it was called the joy of painting, you know, and how to paint, if that you have to have an interest, and he said, you just, you have to try. You don't know if you don't try. It's like everything else, but you do have to have an interest, right? And when you got to learn something, if you don't have an interest and you don't have a passion for it, then you're probably not going to you know. And so I don't really have. I was interested in the movie, but I don't have any interest in painting, so I'm not going to learn. But if I had an interest, I'd probably want to go to one of those instructors and find out. Maybe he could help me with technique and some different things. Why not? That's the idea. But the movie was called oh, what was I guess it was the Bob Ross story. Um, there's another great movie too on a different one. We watched another one called On a Wing and a Prayer. Also a good kind of Disney-esque. On a Wing and a Prayer. True story. I've told the story here. I won't do it today. But I think Dennis Quaid's in it. And story about a pilot. True story. Great story. And some life lessons in that one too. Have fun. Again, we just want to say good morning and say thank you for the folks on YouTube for stopping by, Tina, John. And if anyone has any questions, let us know. We got about 20 minutes left to for YouTube, and then we got to get to work for the rest of the day and the week. And don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to make sure that we have your email. And it is free to subscribe on Twitter or on YouTube, and push the like button, the notification button. If we have a spot in view, sometimes it's late at night, sometimes it's whenever, and you'll get notified. If you want to know more about our membership and so forth, you can visit the website. And if you still have questions, you're always welcome to call. Have a great rest of the day. This will turn off automatically at noon. Thanks. Okay, once again, we just want to say thank you for all the folks stopping by on YouTube. We appreciate it. We wish you the very best today and this week. Don't hesitate to reach out, and and just know there are alternatives to listening to the macro babble. There are alternatives to chasing moving averages and trend lines that are constantly adjusting and grinding on every entry and exit. Do I go in? Do I not? Do I take a profit? Do I take the stop loss? And and all that angst that comes with what we call discretionary trading. We're into mechanical trading, robotic trading, and ultimately robotic hedging. Have a great day.